All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Mr. GLOAT podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we are going to take just a short trip down memory lane, just a short one. I only have a few topics to talk about, but as for everything going on, just for the time being, we are coming to the final week, and even though today is Memorial Day, so wish everyone best of luck. And as for competition, ladies and gentlemen, it is pretty interesting for what we've been witnessing for the last few days. Now, first, ladies and gentlemen, to point out, guys, as for competition and everything else going on, ladies and gentlemen, considering if everything is going great, smooth, or not that good at all, well, to be honest, guys, the IndyCar series has already put out a great race today for the Indianapolis 500. It was actually a great race with Alex Palou actually coming back with a great, strong victory. It was a great win for him, and it was a great win for everyone else, and it was actually pretty good. Congratulations for him. It's a good thing we haven't had a fatality in barely almost 10 years. Guys, it's actually a little bit of a world record that no one has actually died in any situation in the IndyCar series for a long time. Almost a decade since the Pocono race in 2015, which was the second last race in the fall when Justin Haley passed away. But I'm surprised that everyone is doing okay, and there's no fatalities or all, but it's pretty much not bad. And as we're speaking, guys, speaking about it, let's go to the Charlotte 600. Now, as I'm actually recording this video, we don't know who the winner of the race is yet, other than the race might still be going on as we speak. But I also heard that Jimmy Johnson has made his 700th career Cup start at the 600, which is pretty good for what it was. So not bad, but considering he's past his prime, considering how he got a good third place finish in the Daytona 500, that's actually pretty good for what it is. Technically, we don't know who will win the race, but yet again, with everything going on here. But we must stick to it, ladies and gentlemen, because the next race we're also talking about is the Monaco Grand Prix. So, guys, the Monaco Grand Prix, the Charlotte 600, and the Indianapolis 500, and those three races to NASCAR, F1, and IndyCar all happen on the same day, which is not bad. It's pretty decent. It was pretty good. Information stated that it was a great win for reports as Lando Norris beats out Charles Leduc and Oscar Piastri. What's his name? Oscar Piastri in a 1-2-3 finish. Good job for Lando Norris picking up a good win there. Considering there's no fatalities right now, nothing bad has gone on. Considering with everything going on, we don't know much of information of everything yet, other than how it's pretty good to see great competition here. These are great championship drivers, and you got to give them credit for what they're doing. So it's pretty good. So, ladies and gentlemen, as when I'm actually done doing this podcast, I'm already going to record another one, which I'm going to do a one full part episode of UFC 5, The Return of the Beast. I'm already going to do 1/4 of the episode. What I'm going to do, guys, what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to record. So what I'm going to do, guys, today, as I'm recording this video, when I'm done with this podcast, I'm going to record another podcast, which will be 1/4 of me talking about the information just to save up gigabytes from my phone and then start re-recording other clips. So I might just take a break, just talk about one podcast of the quarterfinals of UFC fighters in UFC 5, and then I'll get to the semifinals, which will be another time, and probably for the best, I'm going to do a part 3 of it just to talk about the title with Ken Shamrock and Royce Gracie and the final match, because at this moment, I have a feeling it's going to be a 2-hour podcast. And with all the information I'll be recording, I'm just going to take a break off, stop recording when I'm done with the quarterfinals, and then get back probably a couple days later, save my voice from getting a sore throat, and then probably talk about the semifinals, which I might wear a different shirt, so keep that in mind when you're watching it. I might record, I'm recording 3 parts of UFC 5 because there's a lot of information, and I don't know if my body can handle it, and I want to take a break from breathing and relaxing a little bit just to keep myself straight to the point, because I've already gone through the script so much, but at this moment, I'm just trying to save up as best as I can to... I'm just trying to save my energy for next time. So we'll see what happens, how that works. I just hope I get enough gigabytes that when I put all the clips together, we'll see what happens. Like I said before, guys, the Ken Shamrock and Royce Gracie fight for UFC 5 is so out of it. People calling it one of the most boring fights. And yeah, when watching that video, I'm not going to spoil it for you viewers of what I feel, but I can tell that by that time in UFC 5, I can tell it was an end of an era, and I can see why the Gracie family and the Gracie name of Royce Gracie kind of fell after that 5th event. So I really don't know what to say about it. It is pretty bad, but it is what it is. And even though I'm doing a 40-minute podcast right now today, so yeah, but that's all I have to say. That's all I have to say about this. It is what it is, but yeah, you can't hate it. You just can't hate yourself for this. Like, at the end of the day, guys, I love doing these. I love talking about stuff in the past, and I love talking about ridiculous things like Danny Williams and his entire boxing career because it's so funny when looking back at it. But you know what? I enjoy it because I love talking about it because I wish I was there. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Don't mind. I'm just going to try to look at my computer so I know what I'm looking at. Okay. Still. So, ladies and gentlemen, the next topic I'm going to talk about, which is like 2 topics out of 3 today. So, guys, the second topic I'm going to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be a surprising fact here. It's going to be interesting. So, ladies and gentlemen, on BoxRec, it's going to be complete competition, guys, because around 3 a.m. at the time on the 27th, guys, on the 27th of Tuesday, BoxRec is already going to do... are already doing a pound for pound vote for us voting for who is the greatest pound for pound boxer, and it's going to happen by Tuesday. So tomorrow it's already going to go. The voting is going to close in about 2 hours and 6 minutes, 2 days and 2 hours and 36 minutes as I'm recording this. I do want to put out my own voting here. Whatever you people do, if you don't like it, you don't like it. If you don't let me know. It is what it is. But it's going to be interesting just for the fun of it. So, but I'm going to enjoy it just for the heck of it because it's a real fun thing to talk about. Just to have your own votes. You people have your own opinion to talk about, and to be honest, it's pretty decent to talk about. So, ladies and gentlemen, just to get this out of my system until we get to the 20-minute mark. So, guys, the people's pound for pound choices in boxing are pretty different to standard points here because I've put in a lot of work here of voting for who my greatest pound for pound boxer of all time is. For the heck of it, it's pretty interesting because as looking at it, I don't want to say that my voting is not that accurate, but yet again, I do believe I put a good effort in for what I'm doing here because I feel like that some of my players or some of the fighters I voted in the top 10 for pound are different than what anyone else would actually believe what you viewers think. Our opinion is, like I said before, you viewers have your own opinion. I have my own opinion. And to be honest, I really don't know what to say about it because I've been getting a lot of, I don't know what to say. It's pretty hard. It's pretty hard to talk about. So let's go to BoxRec, ladies and gentlemen, and talk about this now. And I know I'm gibbering and jabbering and not talking very much. But I just want to get through this as best I can. But try to make this a long podcast, more than over a half an hour long, because my podcasts are a half an hour long. But I do want to make it to a 40-minute or even 45-minute or an hour podcast, which is how long I love to make these podcasts. So it's just the way I play. Like, I'm not like those VTubers like Shy Lily. Like, guys, I don't like to be like a Shy Lily, how Shy Lily does her live stream videos, and it's just her talking and not playing video games. Like, she talks about her life or talks about other things out in the world. And I think Scoochan does the same thing, because I don't want to be that type of person like them doing 7-hour live stream videos of talking. Like, I love watching USADA Pecora, another great VTuber, even though she does do some talk. But when it comes to her live stream videos of playing video games, I'm more entertained by that. The last time I saw her live stream video the last time I saw her live stream channel was like a few weeks ago when she was playing Star Fox 64, and I enjoyed it. And did you viewers know that there was a different ending to the game? I actually didn't know that. I played Star Fox 100 times, but I actually got the bad ending, and I didn't know there was a good ending. Just goes to show you how hard it is to play Star Fox. Anyway, so guys, back. So guys, BoxRec has already put it in the ranks on BoxRec.com for the people's pound for pound for male boxers. Alexander Usyk is at number 1. Naoya Inoue is at number 2. Terrence Crawford is at number 3. Dimitri Bivol at number 4. And Artur Beterbiev at number 5. Maybe, okay. Canelo Alvarez at number 6. Jesse the Bam Rodriguez at number 7. Junto Nakatani at number 8. Which, barely. And David Benavidez at number 9. With Gervonta Tank Davis at number 10. But I would say there is some accuracy into this, but I did have my own choices here. So my pound for pound is Naoya Inoue is at number 1. And Alexander Usyk is at number 2. Canelo Alvarez, I will say he deserves to be at number 3, with Terrence Crawford at number 4. Dimitri Bivol, I would stay at number 5, but David Benavidez, because he's WBA, but also the vacant WBC champion, because he was given the belt outside of the ring, even after his WBA win against David Morrell, I'm barely going to put him at number 6, even though his 2 fights in the light heavyweight haven't been that bad, considering how hard it is for him to lead in the front foot due to his weight. But yet again, I do think David Benavidez might have something there, because the reason I put him at number 6 is maybe if his body can get used to it, we might see another good chance. Like, even though his footwork might not be much, who knows? But you viewers have to understand, like, he was 250 pounds when he was 13 years old, and it took him a long time, even some years, to the time when he lost weight. And this was during a time when he was actually doing amateur boxing, when he only did 15 amateur fights in his career, because even though his father did say that his father always trained him as a professional boxer, because once you go into amateur boxing, you start picking up habits that are bad. Because in amateur boxing, you can't clinch people, you can't. You get what I mean. Amateur boxing is a more strict rule, and there are some people that just clinch for the heck of it. So there's reasons why he didn't go to amateur boxing as much, and he pushed him into the professionals. But at the time, yeah, it is interesting because of that, it is tough for him. But his win against Alexander Gluskic in June last year, with his February win against David Morrell, I wouldn't say they were bad fights. He dominated the fights, but his leading off his foot isn't that much to look at. But yet again, I think if he can actually stay more confident, considering he's 28 years old, he might pull out an upset victory against Dmitry Bivol. The thing is, Artur Beterbiev, I wouldn't say he deserves to be in the top 10 pound for pound. But yet again, I will say if they do get a rematch with him and David Benavidez, we'll see where they go. But I don't want to put them back together as it is because David Benavidez is number 1 pound for pound in the light heavyweight. So that's why I'm keeping him there a lot higher. Jesse the Bam Rodriguez at number 7, which I think, to be honest, he's still a young kid. And you know what? Considering he's the first male fighter to ever win a title in boxing, being born in the 2000s, I still think he might have some interesting stuff to look at. But I will say, though, I still think he has a good chance, like considering he only has about a good amount of years in his career because he's boxed for 7 years right now. And I do see him with another, like by 2025, when his next fight is going to be against Pamuela Kafu, the guy that defeated Kosei Tanaka, 4-time weight class champion Japan, with that upset victory, which is an interesting win. But when he goes to Frisco in the Star, the Ford Center at the Star in Frisco, when Bam Rodriguez wins this fight in his 22nd professional fight, I do see him having another 12 more years left in him. I'm sure by 2037 at the time, because he was born in 2000, so I'm sure at the age of 37 years old, he has a good amount of years in him. As long as his attitude and as long as Bam Rodriguez is in with the best business, the better people, better promoters, as long as he goes where the business is clean and not dirty like Don King ruining Mike Tyson's career in 1988 to 1990, or even what happened to Ryan Garcia, I can have a good feeling that Rodriguez is going to do a good job. So we got to be careful of the future. He might be good right now after he retains his WBO title and wins out the WBC belt to unify the super flyweight division. You can tell him that he can go up to bantamweight and fight against Junto Nakatani, which is also a reason why I didn't put Nakatani at number 10. Well, let's get to that first. Jaron Ennis, Jaron Ennis, a guy with 34 wins. One of those fights ended in a no contest due to accidental headbutt in 2020. But I will say, though, he's not a bad fighter. He picked up okay wins. A good win last month ago. But I will say, though, he is a good top fighter in the welterweight. And I do want to see him box again. But because I really wanted to see if he was going to take on Terrence Crawford. But because Crawford is going higher to the weight classes for no reason, who knows? But I think Jaron Ennis, I want to give him a chance, just in case. Shakur Stevenson, I put him at number 9. Yet again, I will say good luck for his next fight against William Zepeda Segura. William Zepeda Segura is a guy that can lose in any weight class. Or to be honest, he will lose in the weight class he's in. I wish him good luck on July the 11th in the Queens of Louis Armstrong Stadium on July the 12th. As Zepeda can pull out an upset victory at 33-0 to take on Shakur Stevenson. But yet again, we're just going to have to wait. And of course, Zenebek. Zenebek, ladies and gentlemen, in the middleweight. I put him at number 10, to be honest. I would say I do love the other guys like Bakram Murtazeliev and Junto Nakatani. Those are two other fighters. I barely put them in 11 or 12. They're better than Javante Davis, Devin Haney, or Artur Beterbiev. He already lost the fight, so I don't want to put him in top 10. But Zenebek barely is a good fighter. I can see him getting a good title win against some good fighters, and he might defeat Carlos Adams for a good world title. I will say, though, the WBA champion in the middleweight is also a decent good fighter, but Erislandy Lara is 42 years old. He's past his prime, so I could see Zanabek beating him. And Carlos Adams would be a close fight if they actually decide to unify the titles and undisputed, or have it for the heck of it. Carlos Adams, I don't know if he is going to fight Hamza Shiraz, and also Hamza Shiraz is also fighting someone also in the Shakur Stevenson's card. He's taking on Edgar Berlanga that same night, so we'll see what happens. Anyway, guys, we're almost at the 20-minute mark. Let's get into the females. The females, ladies and gentlemen, of boxing are different. So, guys, the People's Pay-Per-View, pound for pound, is Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano, and Clarissa Shields. Those are the top 3 fighters from 1, 2, 3. And even though Gabrielle Fundora is at number 4, Dina Thorsland, the greatest pound for pound in BoxRec of all time in all of the weight classes, she's at number 5. Alicia Baumgartner, 6. Chantel Cameron, Yolcosta Valley, and Lauren Price have went up in the rankings. And another fighter from Germany named Nina Menke, a woman that put out a featherweight win twice by the same fighter. And it's kind of crazy, guys, because like I said before, guys, this is actually crazy because now I'm actually looking this woman up right now. And I just realized that in September the 21st, she took on a woman named Daniela Romina Bermudez in Sporthal Hamburg in her country. The Argentinian woman, this was for the vacant IBF World Featherweight title, and that night they fought in a 12-round fight, and they went 12 rounds the distance by majority decision when Nina won. Nina is now number 3 in the featherweight as a southpaw fighter. She's 32 years old, boxed for 9 years right now, and her win last 2 weeks ago in the same city. She's actually no. This is a different place. This was from Rostock when she took on the rematch against the same woman in another 12-round fight and retained the IBF title. So I'll give her credit. She did 12-round fights. That's pretty good. That's going to make it a little bit interesting for women's boxing in the future, considering how many more 12-round fights they're going to do. But guys, these were my picks for the top 10. So Katie Taylor, I am going to keep her at number 1 just for the heck of it. Dina Thorsland, if she does pick up a good win against Sharetta Metcalf, which is going to be probably a easy domination win in Madison Square Garden on July the 11th, I will put her at number 2, which she is already at number 2 right now. And even though that same night, if to be honest, guys, even though I put Amanda Serrano down the rankings, to be honest, because it was pretty hard for me, because I didn't put Amanda Serrano in the top 10 because I put her at number 11. Just in case if she loses for a third time, I might as well not put her in the rankings in number 10. I put her at number 11, just like Chantel Cameron at number 12. And Nina, I kept her at 13, but still not much. So the rankings I made were different. So Dina Thorsland, Katie Taylor have their fights in Madison Square Garden, and any of those two that will pick up a good win, they might rank higher. And if Amanda Serrano does pick up a good win, will I put her at number 1? Well, the thing is, I might put her at number 2 and Dina Thorsland at number 1, pretty much. So it's going to be interesting what's going to happen that night, just for the heck of it. My number 3 pick, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be Mizuki Hiruta, because Mizuki Hiruta is a great Japanese woman. This woman with a smile of her heart, she put out a great domination win against Carla Marino over a week ago, scoring her 8th win and 2nd knockout. She's not a power puncher if you have seen one of her videos, which is crazy. But yet again, it is crazy. I think she has a good domination chance. She's in the super flyweight division. And she's already unified the rank title, so if Mizuki decides to go up another weight class in the bantamweight, probably take on Chanurka Johnson or something for the WBA belt, while Dina Thorsland is fighting against Sharetta, and probably if we see Mizuki or Dina fight for undisputed in bantamweight, that will make more history there. And I think that's something interesting to look at because she's close to the bantamweight than anyone else is, which is why I'm putting her at number 3. Carissa Shields, her next fight will be in July the 26th. I put her at number 4. Gabriela Fundora, I put her at number 5 for the heck of it. Elisa Baumgartner at number 6, Lauren Price at number 7, and Yokasta Valle at number 8. So I keep them in the rankings. But now, guys, number 9 and number 10 are going to be interesting. So Beatriz Ferreira, a Brazilian fighter that's now 6-0. She's in the lightweight division, and she is an IBF champion, ranked number 4 in the rankings. Her next fight will be in June the 6th, and it's going to be a great win for her against Maria Ferreira, 11-0-1 fighter, and I do see that being a good win for her. I can see her dominating a good fight against Bomi Sheen. Caroline Dubois would be a good fight for her for a champion, so I do see her throwing a good win. This Brazilian fighter might throw in a good domination. She is the beast after all. 6 wins, 2 knockouts. I want to give her a chance. But ranked number 9 in my pick will be Ellie Scottney. Guys, Ellie Scottney has already put out wins after wins, retaining titles, IBF title wins. And even though she has 0 knockouts, 10 wins, she's the IBF, IBO, WBO champion. And she's taken on Yamilif Marsado, also in Madison Square Garden, and WBO. So a WBC belt. Another fighter is already in the WBA as we speak. So good luck if her in the super bantamweight, she might become undisputed champion. And that's about it. So who knows what we're going to see here while the time goes on. But I will say it's going to be interesting for the heck of it because there's still interesting fighters in the rankings here. Like Marlon Esparza, pretty good. Sky Nicholson, to be honest, I don't know. She's not even ranked in a good chance because since her controversial loss against Tiara Brown, a past prime fighter, and so it was tough. But I still give these other fighters credit, like Fanaria Netzri, Sarah Bailey, a Canadian fighter. Also, I want to give credit to many other fighters from Nazareno Romero, the WBA super bantamweight champion, Irma Garcia, barely, or Tenkai Tsunami, but not much of her in the boxing. Michaela Mayer, Tina Ruperchet, which I don't want to put her in the rankings. Like I would, but to be honest, with Michaela Mayer, Define Pursoon. To be honest, I will say though, there's going to be some interesting boxers out there in the rankings. So who knows what's going to happen while time goes on. Just who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? Who knows? Who knows? By the way, guys, before we continue on with this charade of professional boxers, I might as well have to talk about this while it's about to come. So guys, on May the 27th in Kurakun Hall, we're going to have a surprising, interesting work of surprising stuff coming our way. So guys, on June the 3rd, Oliver McCall is going to fight again on June the 3rd in Texas Troubadour in Nashville against Carlos Reyes, a guy with 7 wins, 17 losses, and 2 draws. Oliver McCall is trying to become the first boxer at the age of 60 or over as a former heavyweight champion to win a fight. And his fighter is Southpaw. He's 48 years old. It's going to be a 6-round fight. And you know what? I just wish it was a 4-round fight just to make things safer. Oliver McCall, 60 years old, ranked 173 in heavyweight in BoxRec. Like his last 4 fights have been all by wins, or his last 6 fights has been 5 wins and 1 loss, but I wouldn't say much of a resume for that. But if he does win this fight in June, I wish he can just take a break by July, by August. Maybe he would start training a little bit in September and then try to get himself built up for his trying to go 6 for 6 in his last 6 fights. I would say that would be a good idea. Like if he wins this fight against Carlos, skip to July, August, September, and probably start building yourself up for one last fight until November, because he did say that he's going to fight in November. Well, November the 2nd, 1985 was his first time he ever boxed in his career when he fought his first professional fight. So it will be interesting to know what will it be. So I will say July, August, September. Yeah, he's only 5 months away until he's done. And like I said before, the Atomic Bull doesn't have to overdo it, but I do want to make sure no fatalities will come to him, because I don't want him to get hurt. I don't want to see his body to be this. Like, there's going to be a lot of problems online and people making comments about this, but I want to make sure he makes it through. I'm proud of him being the oldest world champion to ever win a fight as a boxer, or the oldest fighter to win a fight as a former champion. That's pretty good. Mike Tyson would have done that if he would have defeated Jake Paul at the age of 58, but because he's a couple years younger than Oliver McCall, I am curious to see if we can see that. Like, I think, let's just say that if he defeats Carlos Reyes, which won't be easy, it's going to be an easy fight. Like, this guy already has, like his 12 of his losses came by knockout. 7 wins, 5 losses, and he hasn't fought competition that I don't know about. Like, looking at his resume right now, like Frank Sanchez, he has fought him in November of 2018, so that's one fight. He took on an 18-0 fighter named Jordan Shamel. That was a promising guy from Wisconsin and Michigan, but he lost against fighters named Isaiah Thomas and Murat Gassiv in 2015-16. And guys like 18-0 Michael Seals in 2015, a guy from Georgia, but his promising years came to an end 9 months after his win against Carlos, when he lost against Edwin Rodriguez and had other losses against Eleider Alvarez in the light heavyweight. So, and even technically, he even took on a prime fighter of Uniel Dorticos in 2010. So, I really don't know what to say about this. It'll be interesting to just hope he can go, because his last 2 fights in 2024 and 2025 have been good wins for him. Like, they were quick fights, ended quickly. His body's not that hurt, but I'm sure if he does go 6 rounds of distance, even if he loses, I'm sure he might not want to give up, but I don't want to make sure, because at the age of 60 years old, boxing at that time, it's ridiculous for Oliver McCall to do that. But who knows? Who knows? But guys, I am really going to be interested in Tokyo, Japan, in the Korakuen Hall. On May the 27th, Ryu Nosuke Hoshi picked up his first win in November in South Korea. Now he's taken on a 1-0 fighter named Mohanheli Nuratai from China. Both of these guys are in their body weights right now, so they're both 1-0, and I wish Ryo Nosuke a good luck win. The card's going to be with Shota Furusawa and Hideyuki Ohashi Promotions. They're going to have Shu Utsuki fighting against Aka Yelajian for the Oriental Pacific Boxing Federation and the WBO Asia Pacific lightweight titles. But the other fights I'm more interested in is going to be heavyweight fighter of Huang taking on Shuho Takayama a 4-1 fighter, and the 1-0 fighter of Huang is from the country of China, ranked number 1212. Ryosuke Hoshi is ranked 1254 as we speak. We do have a couple other fighters in their debut named Ken Onuma from Tokyo, Japan. He's going to fight against Hussein Ratofuro, also a fighter born in Kyoto, but living in Aichi, Japan. So both of their debuts are going to happen. Another debut fighter named Jordan Charles Green, a guy living in Japan but born in Miami, which is going to be great. Debut fighter. So we'll see how his heavyweight debut is going to be. Musa Nakano, another Japanese fighter from Tokyo, is going to have his debut against DK Eichmann, a 1-2 fighter, also in a heavyweight fight. And the final fighter, such as Jen Bacchus, is going to have his debut. Living in Japan, being born in Germany, is going to fight in his debut as well against another guy with an 0-1 victory. And 3-3 fighter is a guy named Andre Jr. Takahara, is going to take on a debut fighter named Naoki Matsuda, another fighter born in Kawana, MIE, Japan. So we're going to have a lot of debut Japanese fighters in the heavyweight, and the ones that win the fight, I will give them support and give these Asian heavyweight fighters a chance to be big. Because if a guy from Uzbekistan can take on a 7-foot tall Nikolai Valuev and win the WBA title back in the mid-2000s, then I can say as an Asian fighter from Uzbekistan, I want to say that even if Zhou Zhang was the WBO interim champion from China but never became world champion, which he should have a title shot, I still want to give these fighters a chance to see what they can do to give them a big shot. So who knows? Who knows? So guys, that's all the information I'm going to have to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. I know there's nothing interesting about this podcast as much. I just want to get through all of this information and then talk about UFC because at this moment, I'm already trying to build up a lot of stuff right now for the next few weeks right now where things are going to change a lot for me for the few weeks. So who knows? Trying to get through so much of this stuff because I haven't been uploading a lot of content every single day of the week because I'm already done in the cat shelter. But we'll see what happens when time goes on, and we'll see what's going to happen. It's going to be interesting for the heck of it. Guys, I'm also going to do another podcast while doing the middle of UFC sometime. I'm going to talk about the road to the undisputed light heavyweight championship in women's boxing. Talking about if women in the light heavyweight deserve to get recognition or not. And who knows? It will be interesting to talk about, but we'll see what happens. Technically, who knows? Technically, what else can I say about this? There's still a lot of great champions here. And even though there's a lot of Mexicans and other American fighters and some Canadian fighters and Japanese fighters in the division right now, we're going to see what's going to happen while time goes on. But while things are going to come to place as future goes on, I really don't know what to say, guys. I'm already out of words today, but whatever's going to happen, we'll see what happens in the month of June. And wish Nelson Heisa a chance to give him a big shot for a title. But yet again, he's going to have another fight against some random person on June the 7th. So we'll see if he gets his 23rd fight, if he still wants to be in the rankings. But all in all, we'll see what happens. with that being said, guys, thank you for watching this. And the Fox Wolf says, see you in UFC 5, the return of the beast.